Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have a great article for you guys from the PE Hub. I will leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So I wanted to further do some more research and dig deeper on this whole T-Mobile JV deal into fiber, because this is still brand new. So now people are asking in the industry, analysts, and even you guys, right? I mean, they asked a ton of questions to analysts during T-Mobile's quarterly earnings. Although T-Mobile couldn't answer most of them, most are still wondering what's the bigger picture here for T-Mobile. So inside the deal, how EQT and T-Mobile's JV will target underserved areas. At closing, T-Mobile is expected to invest approximately $950 million in the joint venture to acquire the 50% equity stake. So they're not going to own the company. Let's get that. Let's make that clear. They're not going to own it. They will have a 50% stake in the company. Just like, for an example, Deutsche Telekom has a 50% majority stake in T-Mobile. They don't own T-Mobile, but they have majority stake. So fiber internet is future-proof with huge tailwind, and that's just the case, right? A lot of people need more bandwidth, as 4K, 8K eventually, as there's more streaming happening simultaneously in the house. So you just need more bandwidth, especially when it comes to 8K, if that ever goes mainstream. So T-Mobile agrees to acquire a 50% stake in Lumos and will invest approximately $950 million in the JV. EQT is reinvesting through Infrastructure VI Fund, having previously invested via Infrastructure 3. The deal is expected to close in late 2024 or early 2025. So this is what I expected when Mike Sievert said it would only cost them $500 per homes passed, that there was other investments to cover the rest. So it looks like EQT is investing some, and then also Lumos is investing some, because I've heard for Charter, as an example, in rural, it's costing them between about $3,000 to $4,000 per home passed. So it looks like T-Mobile is only putting up about $500 per home passed, and the rest is covered by EQT and Lumos as well, is what it sounds like. So we see substantial white space at the intersection of consumer broadband and fiber infrastructure, where we view fiber infrastructure as a superior future-proof technology. I mean, they're right. That's more future-proof than anything that FWA can do, say, 10 years from now, right? Especially as we get into 8K. We now have this I think it's the Apple Pro, if that's what it's called, I forgot, or Apple Vision. We have that now. That's going to require huge amounts of bandwidth. The next generation of that device will probably come with some type of cellular connection. So it's just huge. When you look at the US, only about 45% of homes have fiber coverage or access to fiber. So they're trying to take advantage of that. And that's going to, and I discussed this with someone else, that's going to play into AT&T's territory. Right? AT&T is now looking to expand wholesale, and they're trying to do partnerships. So what if T-Mobile gets a bit more aggressive and they now move into territory that AT&T was targeting, right? Just to throw that out there. EQT and T-Mobile regard demand for fiber internet access to underserved areas as a massive opportunity. And it is, right? But for T-Mobile to still treat it capital light, I don't want to say it's a mistake, but if you have that huge opportunity and you have other players that are investing more or that are willing to invest more, then T-Mobile at some point might have to get out of that capital light phase. They might have to drop, more money on this project. 3.5 million homes passed is a drop in the bucket, especially if you're having to share the pie with everyone involved. So T-Mobile is not making 100% of profits here. They have to share this likely with EQT and Lumos as well. So they're not making 100%. So if this was T-Mobile going big, right, they would self-fund everything. They would of course hire the contractors, but they would pay for the fiber, they would buy the fiber spool, they would install it, and then they would make, they would make all of that money back. But since they don't have the expertise in wireline, they need help, and now they're having to divide the pie. So EQT took Lumos private in 2017 when the company was focused on B2B fiber and some enterprise customers. That changed around 2020 when the firm realized how much opportunity was in consumer broadband and fiber infrastructure and how important that was to society. So T-Mobile is seeing that too. T-Mobile is not blind to those facts. They know that fiber is the long game. They even said fiber could help alleviate some pressure off of our 5G network. That's a strong statement. Now, you might take that several different ways, but that's a strong statement. And that also goes right in hand with spectrum is a finite resource. It's not unlimited. So they will need more to continue growing FWA beyond what they're doing today. But it looks like instead they have pivoted towards fiber. The firm later spun out the B2B part of the company to focus more on consumer and small businesses. It started by adding as little as 15,000 homes in 2021. And with the combined investment from T-Mobile and EQT, again, EQT is also investing, the company expects to reach 3.5 million homes by the end of 2028. That's a small number, right, if you think about it overall, but it still looks like they're going to get there in a relatively quick time. So if this is expected to start in 2025, 26, 27, 28, I mean, they're going to do that in 3 years. That's a pretty solid pace, I'd say. The company is expected to grow through organic means, especially by adding new customers. And that's the way that they're going to do this is with the T-Mobile effect, the T-Mobile brand, the national marketing. So there is going to be some additional investing that T-Mobile will have to do, I'm sure, outside of just investing into the JV partnership. They will likely have to do marketing. They will have to probably bring this product into their stores for sale, likely pay out some additional commission to the reps that sell this. So that's all a possibility. So based in Bellevue, Washington, T-Mobile is a wireless carrier. Shah said, I don't know if I'm saying that right. The joint venture will benefit from the strength of each partner. They, T-Mobile, are a strong consumer telecom brand with an extremely high level of customer loyalty and best-in-class sales and marketing teams. So again, sales and marketing teams, a huge factor in this. The T-Mobile brand is great, but you still have to execute, right? At one point, the Sprint brand was great, but they didn't execute. So what happened? They failed. So you have to have a great team and great decision-making for these companies to trust one another. So that's a big deal here. T-Mobile wanted to partner with a leading fiber provider and private equity infrastructure investor that could rapidly scale and support a joint venture to focus on market selection, engineering, and building out to markets where they could deploy their sales and marketing expertise. So this could also go hand in hand with T-Mobile's retail distribution expansion. Like I said, this is likely an area where T-Mobile really fortified their wireless network. They strengthened it. They have a larger network in these areas and retail as well to complement the fiber footprint. As demand for reliable low latency connectivity rapidly increases, the deal is a scalable strategy for T-Mobile to take significant step forward in expanding on our broadband success and our continued shaking up competition in the space to bring even more value and choice to consumers. That's something that Mike Sievert said in the original statement and article that they released. EQT's experience in investing in other similar companies, the initial investment in Lumos will bring more experience in this joint venture, despite some of that experience being from companies based in Europe. So there you go. You guys got some additional info there. Again, EQT is a part in this. They're bringing expertise. T-Mobile will also learn a lot from this. And in fact, I think it will drive T-Mobile to operate their own wireline business at some point or section in the company. And the 50% stake could only be the beginning. T-Mobile could say, look, I'll drop another $950 million and own 100%. It's a possibility. I'm speculating. That's not fact or official, but that's something that T-Mobile could offer in the future, if they like the way that the business is running, if they gain confidence, like, hey, we got enough experience now, we have the team, we'll just buy you guys, bring you on board, and then T-Mobile just runs it that way. It's a possibility. You got to remember, T-Mobile for the first time in history is going to make as high of a free cash flow that they are. They're guiding at the high point this year, $16.9 billion. They have never, ever, ever generated that type of free cash flow. So you got to think, a company that's eager to compete, that has a strong team, a senior level experienced executive team that knows how to make the right moves and right decisions. I mean, they would gladly spend an additional $1 billion in the outer years to own this company 100%. And of course, as the company grows, it might cost T-Mobile more to own it, because at that point, I mean, T-Mobile's talking 20% penetration rate. I mean, they're going to grow this quickly, and it's going to complement the wireless network so well. Although they didn't really discuss and tie it into convergence, but man, can you imagine T-Mobile, a wireless customer getting this fiber product, and then if they get this fiber product into the home, they sell wireless? I mean, AT&T is doing that all day long, so I see T-Mobile doing the same. So just wanted to discuss that a little more. What's the bigger picture? I think the T-Mobile effect is real. They are a strong sales and marketing organization. And again, the free cash flow this year is 16.9. That it doesn't stop. They are a cash generating business. Next year, that cash flow is probably going to be 18 billion. And then 2026, 18 plus, closer to 20. So they will have funds to make the moves that they want to make. Like I discussed in another video, maybe Lumen becomes available. Maybe they do go up for sale, right? So then Lumen is now on the block to be purchased. Maybe T-Mobile gets into that. So, and at some point, right? At some point, maybe T-Mobile does organically just scale fiber on their own. When they have enough experience, enough tailwinds, more profits, they might just do it on their own. Who knows, right? But those are all the possibilities. The bigger picture is to grow and scale. That's very clear. That's something that was discussed in this article. T-Mobile sees that as a big opportunity. And I think that's the right pivot at this time, because eventually the wireless segment for them is going to get saturated. Even if they grow business, at some point they're going to run out of space to grow. They're just not going to be able to grow anymore. So they got to pivot. They tried TV. That didn't work. I think the fiber will work for them, and it already has with some of the other pilot programs that they've been running. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.